Hey, how you doing, Nick?
Yeah, I'm good, Jay, man. Looking forward to the stream. Looking forward to the stream. Like I said, I missed the one you done probably about 4 weeks ago now, innit?
Yeah, yeah, the
Uh,
12-hour mental health stream.
the 12-hour mental health stream because I did join it. I was in the house for a little while. And I did join it for about 20 minutes. You was watching I think it was the Blues Norwich game at when we won the playoff final.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you was watching that, but you'd been on there a few. I think you'd been on there about 8 or you'd been on there through the whole night. I think you had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was 12
Um,
hours. I done it through the night to fit it around the kids and stuff, taking them to school and that. So I thought if I start later on,
yeah, yeah,
it'll, yeah, at least I can pick them up from school and stuff. But yeah, it was good, man. I raised, I think it was like 160 something pound in the end. So it's brilliant that it's gone to you know, onto a good cause. And this is something I want to do like at least once a month, And yeah, I'm just really grateful that you wanted to do it with me as well, Nick. Just talking about like, mental health and stuff, the importance of speaking out and talking about it, and there's no shame in it, And yeah, it's just something I want to do, Just one video a month and get people to check in with me and stuff, just making sure that you're all okay and everybody's
yeah,
everybody's doing okay, basically. Yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah, man. I think it's really important because the one thing that bonds us all together is the love for blues. Do you know what
yeah,
I mean, Jack? And I will keep mentioning that because it's important that regardless of where you're living, regardless of what you've gone through in life, the one thing on a Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. is that we're all together. Do you know what I mean, Jack?
yeah,
Um, and like I say, regardless of what someone's gone through in the life or what I've gone through and stuff like that, and I think that's why football is such a good release for depression, mental health, anxiety, and stuff like that. It's just a Saturday afternoon off where we can all get behind the team and have a few beers. We've hugging strangers. Do you know what I mean? In the
that's
ground when we
nice.
score. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's definitely a release football for mental health. But yeah, well done, Jay. I'm doing that, man.
Cheers, mate, and well done to you as well because you've hit 1,000 subscribers there, mate. So congratulations. I was buzzing for you because I've been looking every day, like, and I noticed it was going up, and I was like, oh, it's so close. And I forgot to message you last night. You was like, so I watched your video, and you were saying that it went up like through the night, and I was awake, so I went to the gym at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I go and it's
Yeah,
quiet, and I was looking, you was only like 10 off. I thought, like, oh, I'd love to message him now. I bet he's asleep. Like, yeah, I had a little look when I was in there, and yeah, woke up this morning like a bit later on, and you'd hit it, like, and then obviously you done your video. So congratulations, mate.
nice one,
You're
Jay.
buzzing it, yeah.
Do you know what? Like, the comments on my last, especially on my last few videos, have just been really, really nice, man, and it just makes it worthwhile doing it. Do you know what I mean, mate? Yeah, really pleased. So it went up over to 1,000 because I've been doing it a year now, and obviously because of some of the stuff I went through at the beginning of the year, I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't banging out the videos as much as I was, but I'm kind of trying to get my head round, process what's going on for me now and stuff, and just get my head stuck into my channel, man. But yeah, getting to 1,000 subscribers is massive, and it's even gone over that now, mate. Like it's
Yeah, mate.
I don't know, it's gone up over 1,000 anyway. But yeah, everyone's been great, and like you say, it just makes you worth doing it. Do you know what I mean, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, James is saying there, please do more of these. I can't wait to see your videos pop up. Keep going, both
Oh,
of you,
cheers,
please.
lads.
Nice one,
Cheers,
James.
James. Yeah, this is something I want to do like at least once a month. This is like an important one for me because I've like I've done the live stream, didn't I? And I was open about like the stuff I had in the past. I'm all right now, like obviously. But mine started off with a bad breakup. My first girlfriend, and things happened there. Like anxiety kicked in, like depression and all that. And yeah, like, I was like for about 6, 7 years, and it completely took over my life. To the point where like I was bedridden weren't going out, weren't eating and drinking. I lost loads of weight, and yeah, I don't want other people to now kind of go through it. But look, it does get better. It does get easier. Married now, I've got a lovely wife. Been together now 10 years. Two cracking kids. But, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and there's no shame in talking about it either. And he's a lot better when you talk about things than bottling it up. And there's no shame. Talk about how you're feeling and stuff. And that's why I wanted to do this, because if people you'd want to like have that escape where they can, just phone in and just talk, or like things that they've gone through in the past. It's great that you can get some things off your chest and try and help people. Which is wanting to do it really. But yeah, what about you, Nicky?
Yeah, it's mad you say that, mate, because that's exactly what I'm going through now. So me and my missus, I mean, I still call them a missus. We've been split up 6 months. At the beginning, so I've been with my ex 8 years, and when we split up in the January of this year, and it kind of come out of the blue, really. Although when I look back now I've had a bit of time to process it. She was pulling away probably this time last year, emotionally pulling away, but I didn't recognise the signs. But yeah, so we broke up in the January, and I've just found it really difficult to deal with, Jay, man. Like, it's just that it's a form of grieving, really, because she wasn't just from a missus; she was like my soulmate. Do you know what I mean? So that's been really hard. I said to you, I fair, didn't I, mate? I said, honestly, this is one of the hardest things I've probably gone through in my life. I mean, I've gone through heartbreak before, but I was only in my 20s. I think the older you get, I think it's harder because, like, I've never seen my life without this woman. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm having to get used to not being around and not speaking to her, not hearing off her. No more going on holidays with her or anything like that. And it's just it can get really lonely at times. You know what I mean, mate? But yeah, I completely understand, man, about breakups. And I started seeing a therapist. I did, yeah. I only had a couple of sessions. Yeah, and she said,
counselling, like, or
no, it was a therapist. So we walked around this park in Harborne in Birmingham. It was about 5-6 weeks ago, and I found it a bit awkward, really, because we were still having little bits of contact, but now I know it's completely over. Yeah, so I was seeing a therapist, and she said to me, what it is, it's grief. Like, I've lost a loved one. Do you know what I mean? I know she's still alive. It's still a form of grief, she said to me. But yeah, man, really difficult, mate. Honestly, that's over the past few months, I've just, I felt really depressed and stuff like that. Even when I was going the blues, I remember going to a couple of games towards the end of last season with my two pals I go the blues with, and I just wasn't there, man. I was like, it's in the ground, and people are, when like I don't know, we have a shot on goal, and people get up off the seats and that. Getting up off my seat, mate. I was in like a proper trance.
man.
If my pal's watching this, he'll know that, because one of my pals took a photo of me. I was completely lost. But listen, man, like I say, I've gone through it before, and and you have, and what gives me hope is that I do get over this, and I do.
You will, mate. Well, I'm here for you anyway. Like, you can talk to me anytime, mate.
Yeah.
I'm always on. But yeah, massive respect for you talking about it, mate. For a start, getting it off your chest. Does it feel better talking about it, or?
Yeah, do you know what, mate? Like, I'm really want to talk about what's going on for me. I'll go to mutual aid groups and stuff like that. So this is second nature to me, talking about what's going on for me, or you know, what I've gone through in my life, the challenges I've had growing up and stuff like that. It's second nature. You know, if people wanna judge me for certain stuff, if it does come out, like I mean, my pals will be watching anyway, but you know, some of the stuff what I've gone through, you know, you can get certain people. I wouldn't say so much of it, you know, that may judge me or whatever. But do you know what? Like, I know I'm true to my word, and yeah, I've been through a lot, man. Do you know what I mean? But so you know, I'm sure everyone's been through something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. We've got some comments here at me about people that have uh, gone through stuff as well. But like, you know, when I've done the phone, and you know, I was just amazed by how many people that was ringing in and just talking, and that's why I wanted to do this. So the
Yeah,
number
yeah,
is on there, guys. If you do want to ring in and stuff and have a chat about like current experiences or like past experiences, like me and Nick have been talking about. You know, we've both gone through it, haven't we, mate?
yeah,
You're kind of going through it now.
yeah,
Um, Me, I overcome it now, but you know, it was a big part of my life. You know, like 6, 7 years of like chronic anxiety. Like I couldn't leave the house. I weren't eating. I was like, I wouldn't leave the bed. Um, Lost shitloads of weight. I wasn't going to work. You know, I had months off work. Just couldn't face going to work. I had just a complete breakdown, and I just remember just breaking down the one day, like uncontrollably crying, and I was like, "What the fuck is the matter with me?" Like I just couldn't do
mm,
anything. And then the day after, it was my dad's 50th, and you know how close I am to my dad.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and this one still gets me now. Like even though I'm over it now. It was his 50th birthday, like, and it was like a big family meal and that. I just couldn't go.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just couldn't pull myself to go, like, and I just broke down. I felt like I let him down, and that, you know what I mean. I just really, yeah, broke down about it, mate. To be honest,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. Full of anxiety.
yeah, it's mad, mate. It's
Yeah,
mad what
man.
your mind can do, like, you know. And it's all like it is your mind. It's just mad what your mind can do. It's a powerful thing, like, you know. Looking back now, like, it's just madness. It's just, you know, there's
Mm,
all different ways. You know, you can talk to therapists, like you said. You've had a couple of therapies, haven't you? The best thing for me, Nick, if you haven't tried it, mate, which I highly recommend, is acupuncture. The best thing, mate, for mental health, in my opinion. Like from my views, mate, it's brilliant. You come out
yeah,
like a
I've had acupuncture a
brilliant.
few years ago. Yeah, it's quite a few, probably about 15 years ago, if I'm being fair. Um, yeah, it did help, actually. It did help. It's good. That acupuncture is quite good for a lot of things, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Love. I know people have it because I was speaking to the therapist, Jackie, her name was in Halzo, and she was lovely.
Mm.
Um, Now there's people that go there like with like terminal um, illnesses to help them mentally and physically, and then there's like, you know, people that are suffering through mental illnesses or just a general illness in general, and it just
Yeah,
helps. You know, physical injuries it can help as well, but it's really good for your mind as well.
yeah. Well,
Um,
it hits home, don't it? It hits home how grateful we should be when you enter a hospital
yeah,
with dying patients. Do you know what I mean? Like you go on a cancer ward or you're taken to a hospice. Yeah, yeah, man. And you know what? I didn't even think about that, Jay. That's quite a good thing to kind of snap you out of it. Do you know what I mean? You know,
yeah,
because yeah, man, that's quite a good thing. Do you want to just read a few of these comments?
yeah.
Yeah. So James is saying, please do more of these. I can't wait to see the videos pop up. Keep going, both of you. Nice one, Joe.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, it'll be every month, mate. I'll be doing it definitely every month anyway. But hopefully Nick can as well. Oh, Duncan, get in.
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
How you doing, Dunk?
Oh, you know my number now, don't you?
Saved it, mate. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think your show's amazing, actually,
Cheers, Duncan, mate.
and it's good to get. It's Nick, isn't it, or Nick? Sorry, I get
Nick,
mixed up.
Nick.
Nick. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, and it was good to hear him and yourself talk about stuff like that because, um, uh, yeah, it's just really good to talk about stuff like that because it's amazing how many men are affected by that more than I'd say females, and that's not picking on them, by the way, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, and sometimes things like that can get compounded with other things in your life as well, and then it all of a sudden it gets tied up in knots, you know.
Yeah.
I think what it is with men, I think they find it. How can you put it without like offending somebody? I find it harder to speak out about things, not like all the time, but like I'd say the majority of men. But, you know, when you got to look at the stats, you know, with men's mental health, you know, it's quite high, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know where to start with this. Like, I was in the military for 16, 17 years, and I didn't know I had PTSD. I didn't know for about I've been diagnosed with it for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
And that's only because some of my old mates asked me to, why don't you go and have a chat? And I went up to, there's a place up in Shropshire, Combat Stress. And I went up there and they diagnosed me, actually.
Yeah.
And, but then when I was diagnosed, it was a good feeling, actually, because looking back on the 10 years before, because I was out of the army then by 10 years, it was good because I could put things in the jigsaw then of why was I like that and why did I do that, you know? Do
you feel better for like talking out about it, Duncan? Like, does it help you to talk about it, or does it not?
Yeah, extremely. But like Mick said, it's, you know, it's just changing your thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I went on a course with a veterans charity for a couple of days, and they said, look, you've got PTSD and you're a veteran. Do you tell anybody? I said, no.
Yeah.
They said, well, tell people. If you're dealing with an organisation, if you're doing this or if you're doing that, tell them you're finding it hard to understand, because my concentration levels can go off the cliffs sometimes. You know, it's one of my symptoms. And to tell people, because and I thought, oh, how am I going to do that? But actually, I've never come across anybody since I've been telling people.
Yeah.
That shun me or push me away. In fact, if anything, it's quite embarrassing because they're doing too much for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and you both said about breakups. Now, I had a marriage breakup. I had a marriage breakup 5 years ago now, just around the time I got diagnosed. And that compounded with my PTSD. But then when I went and seen the professionals, I had trouble from my childhood because, it's a long story, guys. I'm sorry to bore you.
No, mate.
The thing
is what this stream's about, mate. This is what it's for.
Most of the people that go in the army, or into my old regiment, it was the Royal Green Jackets. They were very good professional soldiers. They were a frontline infantry unit, and I never met a single one that didn't have and I never met a single green jacket that wasn't dragged up, whether it was sexual, physical, mental abuse going on in their home before they went in the army. And I promise you, 99% of my regiment had issues like that. Right? And it's getting in deep now. The thing is, the MOD are not stupid. And when you go to join the army, they know what type of person you are, because of one, where you come from, and two, they have been recruiting for 600 years. They know what they're doing. They're not silly. So my whole regiment was a regiment of thieves, baggers, and all sorts. But when they trained them up and modelled them, you had 600 men that could go to war and do the business.
Yeah.
Right? But it's after. And like, I don't like the MOD anymore. I love my regiment. I'm a veteran. I love my regiment. But I don't like the MOD.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all because they abuse you, just like most companies today. They use and abuse. But anyway, that's going off the track here. And so yeah, I had issues from my childhood, which a lot of people have got and they don't admit, and that's fair enough. You have to bring that skeleton out of your closet one day, because it does make you a little bit better. It really does make you a little bit better. Yeah, of course it does. And then on top, I had to break up with my marriage. But I could see it happening just because, you're with someone for 10 years, then it just wasn't compatible. It wasn't working, it was no one's fault. But I will say there was someone else on her side, and that's why she wanted out. But I've got no qualms about that. Yeah. Like if someone doesn't want to be with somebody, there's nothing you can do, is there?
No,
nothing at all, No. But I have issues seeing my kids because that's what some people get like. I mean, I've never done nothing to my children. I've never been arrested. I left the army with an exemplary record. I've kept my nose clean. I've always had a job. I work in a charity now, but it's no good. You still don't get to see them. But that's a side issue. There's not a lot I can do about that.
So in terms of then, Duncan, would you say that like you feel a bit better now, like the longer it's gone on for? I mean, I take it you're still going through it now, or is this something that you've managed to conquer? Or
I feel better because I'm trying. Well, I'm halfway through doing a university degree with the Open University.
Yeah.
Well
done, mate.
Well, I don't know about
that. I ain't clever enough to go to university.
Well, I don't really go to university. I do it at home. It's the Open University, and I'm doing it in psychology because I like it.
Yeah.
And it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. It has opened my eyes to that little period in a child's life between the age of 4 and 10.
Yeah.
And if you can't turn them into a nice human being between 4 and 10, you're going to struggle after 10. Yeah. But, that's hard to tell anyone else unless to do the course. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really that is nice.
Yeah, of course it is. How, I'm not going to knock single parents.
Yeah.
But the yin and the yang, the male and the female with a child works 100% better than just one on their own. And that's not a knock at anybody. So if there's any single parents listening, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying the stats show that a yin and a yang, a male and a female, they bring two different perspectives and two different things to the table with a child.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating. And I do a little bit of charity work for a veterans charity down in Worcester.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of caseworking, where you help people out and you get them to the local council and you do this and you do that.
Yeah.
But last year I fell ill because who sharpens iron? You have to sharpen each other up, and I was helping them, but then I was taking all their. Can I swear? I was taking all their bollocks home with me, and I've got enough on my plate, and that's. I wasn't knocking them.
Yeah.
They, there was veterans live on the streets. There's veterans do this. There's veterans get arrested. Do you know something? Right, I'm going to go off track here. The prison population, 9% are veterans.
Really?
Why are they going to prison?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just look at why they're. You can't say, well, they're in there. There must be a reason why.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going off track a bit, and yeah. So yeah, and I just want to get it out there as well. PTSD doesn't affect veterans. It affects anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I've even known ladies that have given birth that have had PTSD after giving birth to a baby.
Yeah.
You know,
what are kind of like the symptoms, Duncan, in case people aren't aware of like PTSD? Is it like what?
there's.
I know it's different for everybody, but like, is there any like, sort of indication?
Concentration levels.
Yeah.
You can end up not learning at school properly if something started as a child.
Yeah.
You can be dyslexic. You can get shivers and different bouts of different temperature in your body, but also as well, if anything's ever happened to you bad in your life and you go near where it happened or whatever, subconsciously you're a bit different and you don't know why until you address why you're like that.
Yeah,
but it's hard to explain, do you know what I mean?
Panic attacks as well, in the Duncan, like severe panic and things like that as well.
Yeah, and I'm always watching my sixes. I can't switch off.
Yeah.
You know, and because you can't switch off, it's exhausting. I might not be digging trenches in the army anymore, but it feels like that because I can't switch off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know.
What kind of helps you, Duncan, to relax? Because I find, I mean, my wife, she likes to play like rain sounds on Alexa at night time. So we both lying in bed, we've got like the rain sounds on, you know, just to try and, you know, sleep and, you know, just things like that, or like different scents. I mean, lavender's really good for mental health. Lavender spray. I went through a phase of that when I had real bad anxiety, where I used to spray my pillow with like lavender because I was having panic attacks when I was going to sleep. I couldn't switch off. Bad insomnia, and when I was spraying spray, like, it really relaxes you. Like, you know, you get sleep really easy.
Coping mechanisms. There is quite a lot out there. I had the privilege of talking to a fella on the telephone about 7-8 months ago, and he was he was one of the specialist nurses at Camp Hope in Texas. I would love to go there one day just to see how they treat their veterans, because they are the world leaders in treating people with mental health, and it's not just the PTSD side either.
Yeah.
And that chap was telling me things that were off the scale on how to cope with mental illness. And actually, when you sit down and you try some of the methods he says, they work, but it's hard to change another country's way they do things. I mean, it's only been here probably in the last 20 years where mental health's more acceptable in society. I don't know if you two, I think Mick might be of an age of me, right? Mick, do you ever remember as a child?
Yeah.
Sometimes you could hear like a war siren going off when I was a child, and it might be a couple of miles away at the local mental hospital. And this is the truth. And went back to the late 70s and the early 80s. And that was to tell you, like, and people would say to me, and I'm a kid of like 8 or 9, there's a nut job got out there, nut house.
Yeah. So there's one more minute.
Like, if you had a baby and you fell apart and you had a breakdown, they put you in the nut house.
Yeah.
And that was even in the 70s. Yeah. So we have come a long way since then. Like, and it's out in the open a bit more. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. The coping mechanisms, things like you get your fingers and you tap your face, you tap your cheek for 5 minutes, you tap your chin. Sounds way out, doesn't it? But you try it and it calms you down. It brings your blood pressure down. It brings your senses a bit more to normal. Stuff like that, like, you know.
Brilliant, Duncan, mate. It's amazing, mate, that you've been sharing this with us, you know, and you've been really open about it, you know, mate. It's fantastic, really.
The only one thing that makes my PTSD a little bit worse was watching the Blues last season.
And me, mate.
It's not good, is it? No. But the good thing is we're going to get back up, and that's all going to be good, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think of the signing, Dunk?
Well, he's a goalie. Yeah, I know. Well, he's a goalie, and we need one. And but it's a start, isn't it?
Yeah. First one on the list.
I think our big, massive rivals are going to be Wrexham, because everyone we are going to go in for, they're going to try and trump it.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but yeah, I can't wait for the season to start.
I know it's going to be epic, mate.
Yeah,
really
and
good.
I've got you something really nice when I see you. So, all right.
Cheers, Dunk. Yeah, I've got that stuff for you, mate. I've put it in a bag anyway. So,
yeah, brilliant. Right then, guys, I'll get off.
Yeah, it's brilliant talking to you, Duncan, mate.
All right, and lads, Mick, I'll catch you, brother. Right, I'm on your channel as well. I'll do the business, so you're all right. All right, then, guys, I'll catch you later. Ta-da.
See you later, Duncan, mate. Ta-da. Cheers, mate. He's a lovely guy, isn't he, Duncan?
Yeah, man. Do you know, I had a feeling Duncan would be the first one to call in. Listen, what is going on about in the 70s? I remember, because I was brought up in Chelmsley Wood, and there was a mental hospital right by me. And I remember that siren going off regular, and it was a patient that had escaped. And as a kid, it was really scary time. But yeah, definitely, like he talked about when he was a young kid and that, and you do sometimes you have to track what went on when you was a child. I've definitely had to do that. In terms of a big thing for me was my mum and dad got divorced at the age of 13, and my mum left the house, the home. Do you know what I mean? And
to say that as well.
She left the home. I was closer to my mum than my dad, but I felt sorry for my dad, and I stayed with my dad. And what he was an alcoholic, he was, Jay, but he was a functioning one. So he'd go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, finish at 7 at night. Then he'd be in the pub, and he'd roll in at 11:30 at night with a Chinese. So there was no. I remember like being 13, 14. There was no food in the cupboards and stuff, and there was a lot of. I used to hang around with a lot of friends at the time, and we was just naughty kids. Do you know what I mean? And so from that age of 13, and I've gone through this with a counsellor and stuff like that. I had to learn to survive in life. Do you know what I mean? And what happens with me is it. Yeah, no, that's fine. Wait. What happens with me is it.
Hello? How you doing, Tony? Okay. How you doing, Tony, mate? You all right?
Yeah, hello. Andy, how are you?
How you doing, Tony?
You're all right, Tony.
I'm fine, mate.
You all right?
Yeah, hello.
I think we can hear ourselves, Tony, on the background, mate.
Yeah, I'll switch that down now. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's fine, mate, yeah. How are you, Tony? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just wanted to shout out to you two for like what you said about talking about it. And a big shout out to the last caller, because he's reminded me of my story. It's a bit long and boring, but...
It's not.
As you know, I'm a lot older, but I still suffer with PTSD now, but not as much as I did.
Yeah.
But I wish in my time...
there was more help.
Yes. There was nothing.
Really?
Nothing. I mean, I was badly abused at school by two teachers. And I couldn't tell my family, I couldn't tell anyone. But my first get out was the blues, funny enough.
Yeah.
Because I was it was like a posh school. I mean, I'm not clever, but somehow I got there. And I can remember my brother coming down of a Tuesday afternoon in the corridor, and you've seen the glass, and you've seen his head bobbling down, and he's like 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
And he was an hard bastard. And he walked straight in the class, and he said to the teacher, right, Tony's got to come. We've got an emergency. And I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, he got me out, and he gave me a bag with my jeans and trainers. He said, come on, we're going to Carlisle. The Blues are playing. And we hitchhiked to Carlisle, missed it out of the bloody game in the end. Right about the time we signed Bob Hatton after.
Yeah.
But escape was getting out that school. But I just wish I could have told him.
Yeah.
And it went on for a bit, and then I devised a way of getting rid of it because they took me to mental nurses saying it was me, being funny. But in the end, I decided I'll smack the maths teacher and I got expelled. So I got away from it.
Bloody hell, mate. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. But at the same time, it's brilliant that you're talking about it, to be honest, to raise awareness as well.
But the worst was, at 15, I went and joined the army.
Yeah.
And at nearly 16, I was in the middle of Northern Ireland in 1970 when all the troubles was.
Yeah.
I'd seen a load of shit there.
Yeah.
So everyone was thinking, well, they never diagnosed me, but it was because of, they were saying, because of what I saw in Ireland.
Yeah.
But I went on and on. Anyway, I got married and decided to have kids, and it sort of calmed down.
Yeah.
But then it bloody just exploded. And I just went a bit mental, to be honest.
Yeah.
Work was short, and I ended up doing the doors. I was boxing, and I craved the fear.
Yeah.
I don't know if people understand that, but
that was the same as me. Like, you get in that routine of being like worried about something, and you get yourself that worked up. Like, this is how I felt. Like, it's like when you're not worrying, you start worrying because you're not worrying about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You have to try and break that. Yeah, it's mad in it, mate. And that's what I had, like, with severe anxiety. Like, getting to the point where like I'd stop worrying about something, and then I'd be sitting there like worrying because I'm not worrying about something. It's just madness.
I mean, I ended up getting stabbed 5 times while I was on the door, and I just thought, fuck it, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it because you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
I ended up in prison after the big fight because I just exploded, and I've never picked a fight in my life.
Yeah.
And I've ended a lot, and that's not being big-headed, but I learned to look after myself.
Yeah.
And then in the end, I didn't realise what was going on, but my wife was from down south, and she went back down south and took my kids, and I've hardly seen them since. But this is going to sound terrible, but I'm so fucking glad they got out of Birmingham at that time.
Yeah.
They went to a lovely place down by the seaside. They've grown up. I have spoken to them now and again, but it's very rare. But I'm just glad they're happy and safe.
Yeah.
Where are you though, Tony? Are you okay and stuff?
Yeah, well, I ended up 20 years ago just packing. I was stood in my club. I lived in Norfolk then, and a young bird come up. She was 20 years younger and said, "Do you fancy going to Rill?"
Yeah.
And I didn't realise she meant for good. So we went.
Oh, brilliant.
We ended up getting a caravan, and I knew she was going to fuck up with a younger bloke, but it was my escape again.
Yeah.
But I ended up, she went off with another bloke from work, and I ended up homeless 3 times. I've gone through all that shit, but I've pulled myself up by the socks. And then I ended up where I am now, just near Corwin. I had a few really, really tough days, and they were worried because I was just eating pills like sweets. I just didn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
I ended up with one counsellor from Mind, and she was a Polish girl, and I'd had 3 or 4 others, and I just kept saying to them, if you fucking look at your watch once more, I'm just going to walk, because it was just like an hour session for them,
Yeah.
Didn't care. But this girl, I could tell, had actually gone through something.
Yeah.
And I remember her saying to me, look, if you can't talk, I do know, you're an artist. That's my title, Talented Tony. It's not my name. Everyone kept saying, you're so fucking talented, do it.
Yeah.
And she said to me, the next session you come in, paint what you see.
Yeah.
And I did. And I had about 16 sessions with her. Then they cut it off because of money and different stuff. But then I decided, I got in touch with the British Legion. They helped me out. And then they said, which is what the part I'm really proud now, they sent me to a place called Champions House in Wrexham.
Yeah.
it was like for drug addicts and veterans and different stuff. And they said, because you pill popping, we're going to class you as a drug addict.
Yeah.
You know, I never took all the drugs.
Yeah.
But that to get me in, and I said, yeah, okay. So I entered the art class, and then people were saying, well, I went to America and got some books on art therapy.
Yeah.
The American stuff, that last caller said it. Some of these stories exactly like mine. The Americans treat everyone better. So I got the books, read them up, and I ended up after the year teaching art therapy to veterans and drunks and, you know, drug addicts.
Brilliant.
And I had even some hospitals were coming in and sitting in the class and saying, we've heard you're so different. Anyway, I've done that. And then if you see my flat now, there isn't a spare space, even ceilings, doors, walls, they're just art.
Oh, mate. Brilliant. Now, I mean, you still do it now, Tony?
Yeah, well...
still paint and stuff?
Some people don't like, well, they can't understand my work because I paint my stories into the paintings themselves.
Yeah.
So I wake up, open my eyes, and I've got paintings above me with the stories of my life coming in, and it's sort of like I hide 1,000 animals in a picture.
Yeah.
And people have had my art, and that's phone me now after, say, 7 or 8 years and say, did you put an elephant in there? And I go, that's up to you to find. It's up to you to find your story in there.
Yeah.
And then I bought a van, got 2 dogs, rescue dogs, painted the van, fitted it out with cookers and different. And I used to go around doing the homeless, the veteran camps, and I absolutely fucking loved it. I loved it. It was brilliant. But then getting older, and then my van got robbed in real, and they nicked all the cookers and different stuff.
Yeah.
But I still do it now. But I'm a lot better than I was.
Good, mate. Good. So, like, you're saying that the art helps you, doesn't it? You were saying that the art, it helps you, doesn't it? You know, so keeping your mind active, you know, like giving you something to focus on. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, if I have a bad night now because I don't sleep a lot, I've got a spare bedroom and it's my art room, and I'm in there doing 5, 6 paintings at the same time, music on. I still train it, and people think I'm mad, but I don't give a shit anymore.
No.
And about 10 years ago, this is going to sound funny again, I realised I was an artist, and the day I realised I was an artist was when I didn't give a shit what people thought about my paintings.
Yeah.
I used to believe what they say, but I don't now.
Wow. Brilliant, mate.
But it's kept me going, and it still keeps me going.
Good, mate. Good, and that's when it's like me and Nick, you know, like doing the YouTubing kind of thing, you know, it's a hobby, you know, like finding something to focus your mind on. I mean, I'm nowhere near as bad as I used to be, but even so, you know, like, you get like times where, like, you know, you got things on your mind, so, you know, it just gives you like things to focus on, doesn't it? So finding something that you enjoy, it does actually take your mind off things a lot more, doesn't it?
Well, you and Nick, I mean, I'm on a couple of sides, but this is part of my therapy because I don't want a violin out, but I'm on my own. I've got no family around here. Hardly anyone speaks. I go to my golf course, which I've been today. But when I get home, I've lost one of my dogs, but the other one's there, and that's it. Yeah, but this is another way of coming out. Because some of the stupid things with PTSD, a big one for me was having a phone. I've only just put money in the last couple of months on my mobile phone. I never take it anywhere, and I never use it.
Yeah.
But it stopped me back doing it now.
My wife's actually watching this, Tony. She's just commented saying, do you sell your work?
Well, the best is, I don't particularly try to, but I was up at Champion's House where I was doing my art, and I also used to run a karaoke and sing and do all stuff. And we done a play, and there was a woman there, and she come up and handed me a card, and she said, I want you to do a portrait for me. And I went, oh, shit, I'm not really into that. I said, have you got a photo? She said, no. she told me her story about her husband dying 6 years ago, and he loved rainbows and different stuff.
Yeah.
She said, I want you to paint it how you see it.
Oh.
And I went home, and about 3 weeks, I just done this painting of a big place up here, because it's beautiful up here.
Yeah.
This is another therapy of a lake and the trees and the sky. And I just done the whole lot in rainbow colours. And I put a couple in the middle walking down the lake. Oh. Anyway, I went to see her, and she was an art collector, and she absolutely burst out crying and bought it 500 quid straight away.
Yeah.
I thought, I can make my living out of this. But what I do now, I don't push it, but I'm on a couple of sites in France and Germany, and they've done a deal with me. If someone likes my work, they'll send them a print, and I get £10 for every print.
Oh,
and if I push it, like that, a couple of weeks ago, I needed some money, and I got 170 quid in about 2 hours.
That's brilliant, mate.
So, yeah, I don't push it, but if I need money, I'll get it. So that's made me safe as well.
That's brilliant, mate.
I'm in a council place. I've got nothing, but I've got everything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. What about your dog as well? Because pets are good as well, aren't they, for taking your mind? So, going out for nice walks and stuff. Does that help as well, Tony, with how you feel?
Well, I'll tell you the biggest thing. I had the 2 dogs then, and the one that died, I still miss him now. It's about 12 months. He was a deerhound. He was massive, huge. And the other one I rescued a year later, but she come from the same house. But they tried to reown her. Anyway, during COVID, I always remember the start of COVID was the 23rd of March, because it was my birthday the next day. Yeah. And I looked overweight in the shaving, and I just said, fuck that. I'm going out every day with the dogs. There's tracks that I can walk down. There's a big river. And I'm going to carry my army bag with weights in and different stuff. Anyway, we've done all that. I took up Tai Chi, training, and done that every day for nearly 16 months, and I lost 4 stone.
Well done.
Well done, mate.
I've put about 1.5 stone back on now, but, but I'm doing it again now. But I've got stopped by the coppers about 3 times, but I just said, look, I'm walking the dog. He needs, because he was huge.
Yeah.
And we swum every day, and we spent 2 or 3 hours down in the field. And I still go down there now every day with the little one.
Oh,
I mean, she's 18 and a half now. This dog I got now, she's just incredible. But
it's company as well, though, isn't it, Tony? Like, it's company for you as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's giving you something to focus on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all helps taking your mind off things and that, like when you're painting and the dog's round you, they want to love and a fuss, and it's like I've been a dog person, but my wife, she loves cats. I've got bloody 3 of the fussers now. Cats everywhere. Well, it just it would just take your mind off stuff, you know what I mean? Just having something there to, same again.
Well, the other dog, Blue, I used to Blue. See, Blues are always in my head. I called him Blue. He was huge. But I taught him, because I had back operations and knee operations. Fucking hell, it's like hospital 10 here, isn't it? I taught him he got his harness on, and when I had a bad day, he back into the bedroom and pulled me up from the bed. He was brilliant, he was.
What breed was he again, Tony?
Deerhound.
Oh.
Same size as the wolfhound, really. He was huge, but he's the best dog I've ever had. He was brilliant, he was. And he lived till he was, I think he was 14, and the vet said to me, they only usually live till 10 because they're that big.
Yeah.
But this one now, I'd say she's a trust. She's 18 and a half. She's blind.
Oh.
She'd been knocked down last year. Broke her one leg, had toes amputated from the other bloody foot, and she was up walking within a day.
Bloody hell. She's a warrior as well, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. But that caller.
Yeah.
So that resonates with me. It's untrue.
Yeah.
And the thing with PTSD, it's never the same for anyone. It never is.
Yeah.
I've actually now sorted, like the golf. I've been to golf now about 5-6 years, and I used to go and I'd play. It was like a roll up. You put some money in and go out with players, and I found that okay. But sitting in a bar with them after, I used to sit up the corner. But it took me about 3.5 years, and then I said, coming in. And I was the life and soul of a party at one time. I've done that. And that's funny today because the captain said, are you going to come on a away day in August? Sleep over and whatever. And I said, oh, fuck that. I said, it's funny because I can't share a bedroom with anyone because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I have one of my trips unless someone knows me. I said, but if I don't know people properly, I can't play golf with them. I just can't.
Yeah.
So he said, right, I'm going to sort this out.
Yeah.
So that helped me now as well. So it's all coming together.
Good, mate. Good. And yeah, it's just amazing, that you're talking about it as well, Tony.
Well, I have for about the last 10 years now, and it's brilliant. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I used to be ashamed of it.
No, never, mate.
Yet I don't care now. I got sexually abused. And the best is, I thought I was the only one at school being abused. And then a mate phoned me, and it was only 3 years ago, because they caught this teacher in Birmingham, and he was done for 148 cases of sexual abuse.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. That was in the news, wasn't it, Tom?
9 years, and he died about 6 months later, so he didn't really do his time. But I just thought, well, fuck it. He's out of this world now, and the other one a few years before that. So I'm free of that, basically. I still get the nightmares, but I've learned ways to try and cope with it. And sometimes I just go off on my own with the dogs, and I'm gone.
Well, this is the beauty of this, mate, because this is going to be every month now. So, there's always on here that you can talk and stuff, and it's just brilliant that, you're finding ways to cope. It's giving people a hope that doesn't matter what you go through, there's always ways of dealing with things, and finding ways to take your mind off things, like you say, your artwork, it's brilliant. Going out for walks with the dog. It's brilliant, mate.
That's why I'm so passionate about coming down the blues, because the last time I went, I was telling Nick that was against Bolton. Fabrini was playing.
Yeah.
But I came down with 6 guys from Wrexham, and they thought it was fucking brilliant, and the crowd was shit. The game, and I said, wait till you see it full. But it was like having some people there that I knew, and so I could do it.
Yeah.
But this one, when I come down, unless I get a group, there isn't a group in North Wales. I've checked them all. There's one in Mid Wales, but it's just too far away. I'm going to try, if I can, get the balls to set one up myself in North Wales.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant, mate.
See what happens. I can't promise that, but to come down, it ain't just to see the Blues ground for the last time. It's another big test for me to come down and be back in Birmingham, where all this mostly started.
Yeah. I can imagine it like bringing back things.
Yeah. I've lost all my family. I've got brothers, but they don't speak to me anymore. And fair play to them. They didn't know what I was going through because I never told anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my brother lives in Scotland, my older brother now. He come down about 4 years ago, and I told him.
Yeah.
And he was a bit gobsmacked, to be honest.
Really?
But, yeah. But, well, if I can do it on my own, people can do it, but they need to talk. They need to talk. Never once feel as though you can't talk. Once you start, it flows.
Yeah.
It flows out.
Just a massive relief, isn't it, Tony, as well?
Oh, yeah.
Massive.
I mean, I've cried. I've broke my heart.
Yeah.
But they say to you, that's getting rid of, getting rid of the shit out of your body. You've got to do it.
Yeah.
I took up meditation. I still do it now. I took up loads of things. That the other lad was talking about, pressing your face. I've done all that. I've done everything.
Yeah.
I got booked on everything that I tried. And I found my way in the end, which was mainly art and different stuff. But it can be done.
Yeah.
And even listening to the blues every Saturday on Blues TV, that was a getaway for me. I felt I was back in Birmingham somehow, listening to my team.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Fair play to you, Tony.
I love the blues. I always have. We've been arguing about them today. Wrexham.
You love it, mate.
Well, there's about 20 of them on to me, but they always lose.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Well, yeah, this season will show it, won't it, mate? We'll put the money where the mouth is and see what happens, eh?
Yeah. Well, I said the one thing that interested me, because I looked at the blues site, when you make a group up in, say, North Wales, that it does say that you can be eligible for tickets to the round away games near you. And I thought, I fucking love that to go to Wrexham. I've been to Wrexham a few times, but when the Blues are there, that'd be fantastic. But I'm getting ahead of myself now. I want to get down the Blues, and I'll buy you a drink. And,
I'll buy you one, mate.
Hey?
Said I'll buy you one. Brilliant, Tony. Just one more thing, quick. Did Richel get in touch with you about getting some sort of transport to come down to Blues? Because we were trying to help you, wasn't we? About local supporter groups and things like that. Did you manage to sort anything out in the end, Tony?
No, because they're all mid-Wales.
Ah, right, okay.
They'd have to come right out their way to North Wales, or me go right out my way to mid-Wales.
Yeah.
It ain't like a normal land in England where you got A roads everywhere. This is like dust carts, country lanes and different stuff. You've got just a few main routes. I was going to try and get in touch with them and say, well, if you go across, that I could drive down to, say, I don't know, Osmond Street, Shrewsbury, and leave my car then if they've got a van.
Yeah.
And pick it up on the way back. But we'll see. I'm going to get into that anyway. But
yeah, mate. We'll definitely have a beer, mate, at some point anyway.
Yeah.
And watch the boys in Royal Blue.
Yeah. Well, you two keep the good work up. You'll probably see me on there because, as I say, it's like another routine for me now.
Oh,
it's enough way.
Funny, mate.
It's a way of, even though I'm not talking, it is a way of talking to people or being in touch with people in my beautiful city that I love, and the Blues. And I'm so excited with the Blues. It's fucking mad, isn't it? Really,
I know.
And it's exciting.
I know. It's mad, isn't it? Like, I bet like other fans are looking in and thinking, what the, relegated, and it should be doom and gloom, and it's not. It's the other way.
These Wrexham fans today were saying, are you on fucking drugs or something? You've been relegated. I said, I don't give a shit. You ain't seen a club like ours.
Yeah.
You get your Wrexhams and your pop stars and your film stars. Wait till you see the ground now. And I ain't even bloody seen it, but I've seen it on photos.
Yeah. Brilliant, mate.
One thing I wanted to say to Nick, I messaged you earlier about this goalkeeper also. I've got a feeling about him, I think he's going to be the number 2.
Right.
I really do, because he's a free transfer. I don't think that he's going to stop.
Yeah.
But they're going to get him in first before they get a top goalkeeper.
Oh,
he's gone down. No, he raises some good points, man. Yeah. And he's obviously been through a lot in his life, and he might ring back. I don't know, but yeah, like I mean, anyone at the age, I mean, at my age, like I was saying, man. I mean, I've spent over 10 years in prison. I haven't, like I always say on my channel, I never got to see Blues playing the Premier League. In the early 2000s, 2003. Then we was back in 2008, 7, 8.
Really?
Yeah, I was in prison, mate. So in the 90s, I was watching us in the 3rd division. Do you know what I mean? Under Barry Fry and that. And then spent over 10 years in prison, in and out of prison. And that was due to me having to survive, on my own, basically. Do you know what I mean? Kind of fell in with the wrong crowd. And drugs and crime again, man. Right time, so.
Hello, Jay. How you doing, mate? Good evening, chap.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. Yeah. My first phone call in since I think there's prior to the Huddersfield match. I think last time we spoke.
Who's this again? Sorry, what's your name again, mate? And I'll save your number.
Ricky Gray. I was commenting in the text. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Hang on then.
Shout out to everybody who's called in tonight. You know, it shows that we have a massive family as a Blue Nose. And the reason I'm ringing up tonight is because that's exactly what saved me. Was the Blues Nose family.
Yeah.
You see, when I grew up, I grew up in the care system.
Yeah.
As many do. I couldn't afford tickets to go to watch the match, but luckily my mate Paul, I don't know whether he's listening or whether he knows who he is, but his dad was chief steward back then.
Yeah.
And he used to usher us in at the end when everybody had got their seats and stuff. He used to bring us in, and we used to sit on you remember Big Bazza?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to sit on Big Bazza's bench.
No way.
Yeah. 7, 8 years old. That's where we used to sit, and it's so good to hear that everybody's coming forward with their own stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is why I wanted to do it, mate. You know, because I've gone through it, and I don't want people to go through how I've been feeling. Because I had a point of like 6, 7 years, mate, where I completely lost me, and I didn't even know who I was, you know. And it's just mad, mate. And I don't want people to go through it or to try and find ways of talking about it, because when you talk about things, it just makes it like a lot more easier. And that relief you get, you can't explain it, can you? Like, you just feel like a massive weight just come off your shoulder. And you look back and you think, why was I getting so worked up about, trying to find it hard to talk about it? And it was, it's not that bad, is it, to talk about things, it's,
No, well, I think the hardest thing is for people to talk about it.
Yeah.
Or finding the right place or time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes your friends don't want to listen. Sometimes your job doesn't want to listen.
Yeah.
Because they're either paid or, have their own problems going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what I wanted to do.
I'm definitely looking forward to the next season.
Yeah, oh yeah, God, yeah.
Oh, yes. Because the last time we spoke, we spoke about, the drop and stuff and, what comes afterwards. But I tell you what, this clear out is going to be the best thing for this squad ever.
Yeah. Definitely, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think of the Chris Davis appointment and Ryan also?
Well, I see what the Chris Davis appointment caught me from the left, to be honest, because I had no idea of who he was.
Same here.
But the more I read into his CV and stuff like that, but then I started to question also, because he had such an impeccable CV, why didn't anybody else snap him up beforehand? But that's regardless anyway. I'm happy with the appointment. And I see what Allsop, a keeper that plays out from the back, you need to build from the back.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we're doing things right this time.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Anyway, I'm going to shoot off because I'm super nervous on the phone.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. This is why I wanted to do this. This is one thing I want to do. Just like once a month, just talk and get things off your chest. So don't feel nervous about it, mate. If you want to talk and that's the whole point of having this.
The only reason I don't feel nervous is because we're all one big family. This is the Blues family. It's a community.
Yeah.
And we're all a part of it. No matter your background, whatever's happened, we're all there together.
Yeah.
And we'll always have time for each other. So, like I said, I'm a bit nervous, so I'm going to get off the phone. But thank you for your time.
Thanks for ringing in, mate. Thank you very much.
You later.
See you later, mate.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nice one, Ricky, man. Fucking, sorry, there's a phone ringing again there. Yeah, nice one, Ricky. Really good. It's just good to talk, isn't it, man? Do you know what I mean? We've had three lovely callers come in and have shared their life experience of stuff they've gone through, stuff they're going through today. And I just think it's really important, man. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, fair play to him. Fair play for you, Jay, in doing this, starting this platform up. Do you know what I mean?
As well. You're part of the first one, mate.
And he's right in what he's saying. It doesn't matter about our backgrounds and and what people have gone through. When we all get in that stadium at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, we're all one, regardless of what people have gone through, or what I've gone through, what you've gone through, what Tony's gone through, and everyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a release, man. It's a massive release. Getting in that ground and when the score, there's nothing, especially these days. You know, you go back to like the 90s and the 80s and that. There was loads of things to get excited about. I think this day and age, and you wouldn't know, Jay, because you've grew up in this day and age. There's not a lot to get excited about these days. Do you know? Everyone's crippled with anxiety, depression.
Look until now, we blues.
Yeah. Blues, but everyone's literally crippled with anxiety, depression, mental health because of these devices we carry around in our faces all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people that follow me are older. I don't know about yours, but they're like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, some of them 80s, and they'll know what it was like to grow up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was brilliant. Bear in mind, there was a lot of. I think Tony touched on it. I think I remember that case as well, Tony. I think it was on the news, weren't it, about them the paedophiles in the school. There was a lot of there was a lot of stuff like that going on, and because obviously there was no phones or anything like that. So news was getting around slow and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, like no one's going to judge you. I mean, I hope no one judges me. I mean, I've not been to jail now for over 13 years, and you know, my first 2 years, when I come out in 2011, I started helping youngsters what were getting involved with gangs and drugs and knife crime and stuff like that. So I volunteered for an organisation, and a bit like one of the callers mentioned, and I started giving back. Do you know what I mean? I was volunteering. I was going into schools, giving speeches and stuff like that. I was going into I went into HMP Birmingham in October just last year to speak to the inmates in HMP in Winton Green. Do you know what I mean? To say you don't have to live this life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't, like, this don't have to be your life, because I thought this was how life was meant to be. Do you know what I mean? But that voluntary kind of thing, where I was going into schools and youth centres and stuff like that, kind of stopped around 2016, because then we kind of, Birmingham's changed a lot. Do you know what I mean? Even over the last 10 years, anyone what's from Birmingham now, I mean, if Tony come to Birmingham now, you wouldn't recognise it, Tone. Honest to God, mate, you would not recognise it. It's completely changed, and it's a shame, because the voluntary I was doing, other than going into prisons, or going into youth centres, because the culture of Birmingham had changed, and no one could relate to what I was saying to her. But some really nice stuff people have come out with, man.
Yeah, we've had I never knew that you'd done all that, though, Nick. You know, I mean, that's another good thing, really. You know, like talking to inmates, going into schools and things like that. You know, it's really good, positive stuff again, mate.
Yeah. Well, I had to grow up, mate, at the end of the day, and you know, like I'd missed a massive chunk of my 20s and my 30s through leading a life of crime and getting involved with drugs, like Tony said. You know what I mean? Cocaine and drinking, getting in trouble and stuff like that. And I missed out. The mad thing is, I missed out on all the good times when Blues were in the Premier League. So I'm a mad Blues fan, but I can't even say I've watched us in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? And I've done some of the stuff. I think Tony was saying, where I've sneaked out of school and gone to an away game, which was on the Tuesday night or something like that. Yeah, it's mad, isn't
it? That is, because that was the bane of my childhood. That was that. I mean, the photo on my channel, like the logo for this channel is me when I was a kid, and that was me wearing that blue top when we got promoted in 2001. So that picture is me when I was a little boy. It's mad. Like that was my childhood. That was like the main era of blues for me. Really, why I got hooked. I got hooked anyway because my dad's a blue nose, But that was like a big chunk of it when he was in the Premier League. It was massive. And,
do you know, one thing I can say was really nice for my dad, and it did take him some time. He took me to my first Blues game after nosing him so much. And I always remember it. It was against, I'm sure someone will know who's watching. It was in the 80s, and it was an FA Cup. I think it was FA Cup third round against Norwich. And it was a snowy day, and it was 0-0. And I think we went on to have about 4 replays that round. We kept drawing with them. You used to have about 3 or 4 replays. But I remember him taking me for the first time at the back of the Kop, and you used to have these stairs, like big stairs, like a zigzag kind of thing on the back of the Kop, and going up there. And I was only young, do you know what I mean? And then hearing the crowd, and from then I just got the buzz, do you know what I mean?
Brilliant, isn't it, mate? The fans like that. I love it. I do. Like, there ain't no other club like it, and I ain't. I mean, you probably could say it's biased, but mate, it really ain't. Like, even like just thinking about, the hairs on my arms stand up. Like, I love it. I do. On match days and that, like, when we all sing "Keep Right On," I'm like not just singing. I'm looking around the whole stadium, like, as we singing it. Brilliant, mate. I love it. I do.
Yeah.
Every time, every single game, I'm always looking around. That's brilliant.
Yeah, there's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it. It's it has changed, but it's still. I still love going down there, and I am, mate. I'm looking forward to this season.
Yeah, mate, it's going to be brilliant, mate. Honestly, it's going to be really good. And
talking
to my dad and Steve about it, they're like really positive. They've seen it. I know it's a different era now, but they're really, really excited. Like, they can't wait. And that's kind of like reassuring, really, because they've seen it before. Which was like a massive shock for me. At that Norwich game, I couldn't explain my emotions because it was like we won.
Yeah.
We got relegated. Like, I've never seen Blues in the third tier, so it just felt really weird. I can't even explain how I felt. It was just a horrible, happy feeling. At the same time, it was just mad. I just remember just sitting there thinking, "Fucking hell, we won, but we relegated." It's just mad.
I don't think you was expecting it, was you, Joe?
Nah.
I think it's a bit of a shock to you, didn't it?
Well, I've always tried to be positive. I mean, I ain't one to, say they're playing well when they've been playing shit. I'll happily call it out. I've done videos when I've been having rants and stuff. I ain't not completely like positive most of the time, but I do try and find the positives. Like, as the weeks go on, but I think this season's going to be different, and I think Chris Davis is going to bring a lot to the table as well.
What do you think about this Ryan Allsop?
Good signing. It was interesting to listen to what Tony was saying about him being a number 2. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Nick? Like, with him coming to Blues, and then obviously with what Tony said, do you think he'll be a number 2? Or?
Do you know? After I'd done a video, I don't know, a couple of hours ago live, and they hadn't announced him then. And I was very much of the opinion that I hope he's a number 2 because of his shot stopping. I know he's great with at his feet.
Yeah.
But then when I sat back, I thought, well, really, Hull City's number 1 last season. Do you know what I mean? And Hull finished 7th, so he can't be that bad. And I don't go on Twitter and read what Hull City fans are saying about him because you know what that Twitter's like. Do you know what? I'm quite pleased with it. I hope they get someone in to kind of match his ability, so it's a fight for number 1.
Yeah.
Rather than him being number 1. Tony might be right. He might have brought him in for a number 2, but I think that the negotiation deals will be okay. We know Ryan Allsop will know we're going to bring in another keeper in. So it's up to you two to fight it out to see who wears the number 1 jersey, if that makes sense. I think
And this is what I like about Chris Davis as well. Sorry to butt in, Nick. Just quick. I really liked on his interview where he was saying, you know, look, he wants to make the players feel like that they have to fight for their position. You know what I mean? To be played. That just goes to show, you know, the kind of manager that he is.
Yeah.
Bring the access to the players at the end of the day. That's what he's doing it for, isn't he?
Yeah, Lee's just saying he's just seen his first interview. I haven't seen it yet, Lee. I'll watch it after this.
Yeah, mate.
It'll be number one goalkeeper. Well, like Jay just said, I hope we've got at least 2 players for every position to match them. So they're fighting for that position. So, for instance, let's get a right back in what's going to challenge Ethan Laird. If Ethan Laird stays, let's get a left back in what's going to challenge Lee Buchanan, and that goes for all over the pitch.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Back now, Dion Sanderson, you know, things like that. And
yeah, he's a Blues fan as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that until I started reading the article. Well, I found out he's from Birmingham, and then I've seen some photos of him in a Blues kit when he was young.
Brilliant, nice. Yeah,
So
it's going to be cracking, nice. Are you going to go to any away games this season, Nick? And have you got your season ticket yet?
I'm getting my season ticket on Saturday. I'm going to try and go to as many as I can, mate. It's going to be difficult getting tickets this season. I know my mate Platinum, so we can get a ticket. I do usually manage to get one from somewhere, if I'm being honest, but I think it's going to be a lot more difficult this year because of the grounds are smaller than last year. There's going to be a lot of squabbling and stuff like that. But like, definitely Bolton away, Wigan away, Charlton away. You know, the bigger grounds. Maybe Wrexham. I'd like to go to Wrexham. I haven't been there since the 90s, Wrexham. Czech Republic had just scored against Portugal, 1-0. Yeah. And there's a couple of other grounds. What are bigger grounds? Reading. I mean, Reading's the most boringest ground in the world, but you know, it's an away game, and we're going to sell out. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 others.
But you know, speaking about Ryan Allsop, Nick.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Ruddy?
I think he's going, mate.
Would you be happy if he went, or would you want him to stay? Or
initially, I thought I'd like him to stay as a number 2, but that was on the basis of getting a really good number 1. I mean, I'm not saying Ryan Allsop's not really good, but I don't know. Maybe I was expecting a bigger name than Ryan Allsop, maybe. Do I think he'll stay? I don't think he will, mate. I think he'll be gone. You know, I said on my podcast, he doesn't seem like a man that wants to stick around. If you watch that Fozcast thing.
Yeah. I watched it, yeah. Good interview as well, wasn't it?
It was a good interview. And they said, I've seen an article today as well saying that I think West Brom, Walsall and someone else are interested in. I only seen the headlines, to be fair. I didn't open the article. So I think he'll be off, mate.
What? West Brom are interested in John Ruddy?
Yeah, I think it was West Brom, yeah. It was some local teams, West Brom. I can't remember, mate. I only read it quickly just before I come on here. But definitely West Brom I meant. Something like 3 teams he's having talks with.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is the first of many. I'm guessing. Do you think any more players are going to be going as well, Nick?
I don't know. I'd like to keep. I mean, I want to keep a few of them. I want to keep Buchanan, obviously, and Laird.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously, Sanderson's going to be having the pre-season, definitely. He'll probably be here next season, Sanderson. And please, Bielik staying. Everyone knows I want rid of Bacuna. Dembele, I'd like to. If Dembele wants to stay, I'd keep Dembele. I really would, mate, because he'd be class in League One. He would, and teach him to track back. Get a good coach, getting him tracking back. Obviously, Miyoshi I'd like to keep. And I don't know whether that Pike would cut it in lit. I don't know, man. I don't know, mate. About Pike, I think he'll be gone anyway. But would I keep him? Probably, yeah. That's quite a lot of the squad, isn't it? But saying that, we've got rid of the ones we really need to get rid of, didn't we?
Yeah. Did you hear about that one with Jay Stansfield as well, saying that we want to try and get him for 15 million, or is that just Twitter?
I did see that, but it was on Twitter, weren't it?
Yeah.
You know, you have to watch what you're reading on that Twitter, man.
I know. Yeah, I know, but it gives us things to talk about though as well, doesn't it? Like, it's
yeah. Jay Stansfield, I mean, I don't think he'd drop down to League One, but if we had the money, if we could spend 15 million on him, he'd be class. I mean, he was in League One before he come to us, wasn't he?
Yeah. I looked at the stats on my video that I'd done earlier today, and if it weren't for him, mate, it would have been a lot worse. Like the season just gone. I mean, he was our top goal scorer, wasn't he? And if he hadn't have scored his goals, Jordan James, who would have been the top goal scorer, and he scored 8.
He hardly played, did he, Jordan James, under Eustace and under Mowbray or anything? Did he, Jordan James? He played mainly under Rooney, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jordan James, his best position's a number 8. I think we never really accommodated for Jordan. I think he's a good player, but he just didn't fit in any of the systems we played. I mean, look at him for Wales, mate. He was class for Wales in a different system. Do you know what I mean? So he'll go on to do good things, Jordan James.
Yeah, definitely. But even if he did, he'd still be good. I think Chris Davis has got his head screwed on. He knows what he wants. He's like really confident. Which is good. I'm just looking forward to seeing what tactics he's going to be playing. Like, is it going to kind of be the same as what Rooney wanted, but like better, or like a Mowbray kind of playing style?
I hope it's a little bit like Mowbray's, which is a bit of a mix-up of Rooney and Eustace, in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, let's not play out from the back every single time, when it's daft to play out from the back, when you've got strikers marking the players. You know what I mean?
Hello, guys. It's Peter Falk. You all right?
How you doing, Peter? You all right, mate?
I'm sorry, mate. I just sorry I missed it. I joined the podcast late. I've been out for a run, and I didn't realise what the time was. And I kind of said I'd phone up and just say hello to you both because
cheers, mate.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I joined Nick's podcast earlier, and it was kind of reminded people to join tonight. So I just thought I'd come on, share it.
How was your run?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, no, I've been injured a lot lately, so I'm just kind of getting back into it. I've been doing a lot of walking, and I keep myself active as I can, really.
Good, mate. Good stuff.
And I wanted to come on and just say, look, well done both of you for coming on and creating a platform for people to speak. I did join your last one, Jay, but the sound was really bad. I don't know what was happening, so I couldn't really phone in when you're doing the Blues-a-thon. But I was really pleased when you'd done this one, and Nick had said that he was going to come on as well. And
cheers, Peter, mate.
No, that's all right. And I just I saw that you were both on. I didn't know how long this podcast was on for, so I quickly went back to the beginning and just heard you both. And I know, Jay, you were talking about your stuff, in terms of when you were in crisis and kind of working through those issues that kind of stuck in the house and losing weight. And I heard Nick talking about periods in his life when he's been in crisis and tried to kind of walk through mental health. And I guess one thing that struck me, what Nick said, is that if people wanted to make judgments, and I think it's really important when you struggle with mental health, not struggle with mental health, when you live with mental health, and it doesn't matter what people think, man.
No. I mean,
it does not matter.
No, my mindset is I couldn't give a flying fuck what people think of me. I just want to help people.
No.
Like, what I mean? That's my mindset. And like, the hardest thing for me at the time was, trying to find, try and find ways to accept it for one, but then also try and find ways to talk about it. Because obviously, like, you know, me doing this, that I'm really close to my dad. I couldn't even tell my dad about it. You know, I couldn't find a way to talk about it. But when I did speak, in the end, you know, the relief and the support you get, you know, it's you'd be really surprised, and it's just a massive weight and you know, just a massive release off your shoulders. You know, it's brilliant, really. And I wanted to do this, you know, because the response I had for doing the 12-hour live stream was just amazing. You know, there's people ringing in that were like talking about past experiences or like things that we're going through now, and some people were saying that this is the first time phoning in to me that they actually spoke about it. You know, I was just amazed, really, and this is just something I wanted to do. You know, because I just love to help people, and now there is a way out of it, and it does get easier with time and now just finding things to keep your mind active and things you enjoy, getting that enjoyment back. So that was it, really.
No, it's good. It's good. It's positive reinforcement. I mean, the thing with mental health now, it's a lot more widely discussed. There's a lot more discourse around mental health. But even so, when you're struggling with mental health, you probably don't quite like you said. It's just good that you've created this platform.
Yeah.
Between you and yourself and Nick together, and just keep that positive reinforcement and give people that platform to speak. It is, like you said, it is difficult for some people to open up first time.
Definitely, yeah.
Because you don't know what networks people have got around them.
Yeah.
Some people have got supportive, positive networks, and other people haven't.
Yeah.
And there's something that Nick said earlier that made me think when we're in life and struggling with mental health, sometimes we might make bad decisions. Sometimes we might act out a character, or we might behave in a certain way that, you know, we might break the law, we might get arrested, we might get involved in substance misuse, we might get involved in whatever that substance misuse looks like. We might act out in a violent manner against others, and a lot of it can be to do with the coping mechanisms to deal with mental health. Everybody is different. And it's really important that if we've experienced that in the background, whatever that is that we're worried of today, whatever it is that we feel people might judge us on, it doesn't matter what those people think, because they don't know the context. It's not important whether people have made mistakes in the past. What matters is where people are now.
Yeah.
What matters is where people are now. That's really important.
So how they're feeling as well. You know, are you okay? You know, just asking people if they're okay. You know, and you know, just double check, you know, like, are you okay? You know, like, I'm here for you to talk. And I say that, you know, I've got friends at work, I've got friends outside of work, family members, you know, are you okay? And I'll ask them 2 or 3 times, you know, are you okay? You know, I'm here to talk, you know, I'm a good listener, you know, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, but, you know, just having someone to talk to, it's a massive help. And all I can do is just give you, you know, things that I've gone through, and Nick as well, you know, from the stories that Nick's been sharing, you know, just to give you the hope and faith that things do get better by speaking out, and like over time, you know, time is a good healer.
It is, you know, it is definitely, and I guess it's important for people who are listening in now or catch up at a later point when they listen to it, that there are lots of support networks, lots of interventions available for people as well.
Yeah,
you know, there are lots of charities, lots of, you know, there's, you know, for people that self-harm or involved in substance misuse as a way of coping with mental health, whether they attribute it to mental health or not, there is lots of help and support out there. Things like this, like you said, networks around you, if you can identify those people, friends, people close to you. But there are people that you can speak to confidentially.
Oh,
Samaritans, Samaritans are really good. You know, I've used them in the past. Other charity groups there in the past, lots of professional bodies, GPs, you know, the NHS have got some fantastic interventions for people. So it is out there for people, isn't it?
Yeah,
but sometimes I wonder whether people are struggling with mental health and don't realise that they're struggling with mental health.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because, you know, when I started going through it, like having panic attacks and stuff, like, it's not like I was getting to the stage where, like, it was mentally, but like it was giving me like physical symptoms. So like I was getting anxious, like, and over worrying. I was feeling sick. I was being sick. I wasn't eating. I had like bad belly, like losing weight, and I actually thought there was something physically wrong with me. But when I went to the doctors, he sat me down, he said, depressed. And I was like, hey, I had all these blood tests done, I had everything. He was saying, telling you, I'm going to give you like this phone line and get you through the CBT therapy. And it was one of the best things I've done. And what I didn't realise as well, Peter, is how big the mental health the topic is. Like, you got the Samaritans, you got like PTSD, you got CBT therapy, anxiety, generalised anxiety, depression. There's loads, mate. It's a massive topic, really. Like, you don't realise how big it is and how many different forms of it there is, and how it affects people differently as well. It's mad, really. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And there's a neurodiversity is a much more discussed topic now. I've struggled with mental health in the past. And I'm 50 now. Just turned 50. Fit, 50, young. Still think I'm 30. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm definitely in that mindset. And I think, I've just realised recently that I might have ADHD.
Really?
And I've always had ADHD.
Yeah.
But and if it's not ADHD, I'm really alive to the fact now that I might just be on the neurodiverse spectrum.
Yeah.
And I've struggled with mental health in the past: depression, anxiety, dark thoughts, intrusive thoughts. OCD, the kind of dark, intrusive thoughts that come with OCD. I've been through it all, really, kind of just elements of it. And when people struggle through life, and when you look back on life, it's like you were talking about cognitive behavioural therapy.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting intervention for people that have got time to sit down and critically reflect about their life and try and identify the triggers. And
that's brilliant. Yeah, it's really good.
really good. But it's obviously not for everybody, and it's not for people at certain points. But it is really good, isn't it?
Yeah. What I like about that as well, Peter, is they actually they ask you questions to try and pinpoint triggers. And what one of my triggers was when I know that Nick was talking about it earlier about his parents splitting up, and when I went to the CBT therapy, they actually pinpointed it back when they actually broke up. Like, it didn't it affected me. Like, I was upset. Like, it stays with you subconsciously. And when I was talking to my mum about it, she done one of the best examples about it. The things that happen in your life, and it's like, imagine you've got like a load of books that are piled up on top of each other, and you're under these books, and eventually, like, that's going to push over, and it's like all your problems at some point. It's gonna come out and affect you, isn't it? I thought it was like a really good analogy. Like,
I think it's a really good one. No, I think it's a really good one. And parents splitting up in people's childhood is a big one. It's something I think that people just brush under the carpet, or people kind of poo-poo or push to the one side. But it's significant, man.
Yeah, man.
It is, isn't it? It's a major traumatic incident. And as a child, you don't have the skills, or you don't have the toolkit and the tools to unpick that. It has a long-lasting effect on you. I'm certainly not experienced therapist in talking about that, but it is significant. I know that much.
Yeah. But at the same time, it gets easier as well, though, Peter. Because
100%.
I've always been open about it, just because I want to try and help. But we're also, like my mum and dad, they've got their own lives now. It's brilliant. I've got a lovely stepmom. I've got like a lovely little sister out of it. It's brilliant. I've got my own little family now. So things does get easier, like, with time. Time is a good healer, and just finding these problems and like realizing that you need to try and find a way to talk about things. It's just a massive relief. It really is.
It really is, and I guess my kind of final messaging on mental health. I don't know how interested people are in it, really, but it's that one don't know if it's an analogy or what is it, not a coping mechanism. One insight that was shared with me when I was seeing a counsellor once. I saw a counsellor a couple of years back. A bit like Nick said, he's talking to a therapist now. There's different types of therapists, isn't there? And I guess the counsellor said to me once, a good way of looking at it, if you don't talk, if you don't like what you and Nick are doing tonight, if you don't talk, if you don't provide a platform, if you don't do that positive reinforcement, if you don't keep reminding people of the importance to just talk, however you decide to do that, the danger is it's the equivalent of a bucket being full of water, and then you pour more water in and it overflows. Our minds are like that.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't empty the bucket, it's going to keep spilling over.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting way of looking at it. That really worked for me. I really kind of connected with that analogy. I could kind of picture it.
Yeah, mate.
So I guess that's my kind of that's my kind of parting shot, really.
And my mum, like, she's really good, like with like saying, like about the book thing, and then obviously you with the bookie. And there was another one that she said to me, which was like mad, really. Like, and she's so right because your mind is like so powerful. And she said to me, one of the times when I was at my worst, like a good few years ago, she said to me that you're only an eyelash away from being sane and insane.
Very true. It's very true. It is
mad.
It is really mad, really. And if you don't get a control of it, like when I look at people that are homeless, I think you're only 2 paychecks away from being homeless.
Yeah.
I think about that analogy, and if you don't deal with mental health, those are some of the serious implications, aren't they, that can come from it?
Yeah.
If you don't get a hold of it, if you don't talk, the implications can be that you lose, that your cognitive ability worsens, you become less rational, you end up potentially losing the relationships around you, you end up losing any employment, and look where you end up. It's just really important to embrace it, isn't it? And there is no stigma attached to it. Mental health, whatever aspect of mental health, there's no stigma attached, and it's only brave and strong to open up and talk about it.
Oh God, yeah. And another positive way that I like looking about it as well, Peter, is the fact that like we all have our own lives, we all have our different stories, and it's part of your life's journey because we're only here once, and we're only here for a short time. It's mad, really, like how we all feel. We're only here for a short time. And, it's just part of your story, isn't it? That you can look back on and think, bloody hell, I remember when I've done this and, I've gone through that and, I'm getting better and stuff, it's another story to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. And it's really important what you're both doing and talking to other people and setting up those networks and keeping that good work going.
Oh, cheers, thank you.
No, Charles, it's really, really good. On the Blues.
What you reckon, mate?
Yeah, dead excited for the new season. Dead excited about it. Be interesting to see what Chris Davis is like. I've been like you all, quite positive about it. It seems it's his background, isn't it? It's the analysis work that he's done, the player analysis and the style analysis. I get frustrated with Gareth Southgate because I always think he makes the wrong tactical changes, and I always think his substitutions are the wrong ones, and I always think he doesn't like when we played our last game against on Sunday. Slovenia, was it Slovakia? No, Slovenia, wasn't it? Remind me, who did we play? Serbia. Oh my God, mate! When we played Serbia, man.
Yeah.
That was just really poor, man, wasn't it? And I listened to the analysis after the game.
Yeah.
I thought, oh God, I would have changed Foden and Kane personally. Well, I know nothing about football. Clearly, it's why I don't work in the game. But from the outside looking in, with my limited knowledge and my limited understanding of football tactics, I thought Foden and Kane weren't working.
Yeah.
And I listened. There was nothing on the left, and what frustrated me was that I know that I was saying after the game, I didn't agree with the pundits. Who am I to challenge them? But I just didn't agree with them. They said that Kane was playing a certain role. I didn't see that. I just saw somebody that was pedestrian and ineffective. Now, maybe I'm not advanced enough in my football brain to be able to see the good that he was doing.
Yeah.
But I just thought Foden and Kane wasn't working. And what I wanted to see was Southgate change the setup. I wanted him to do that, and he didn't do that. He just changed like for like. Like he brought on Gallagher for Trent, and then brought on Bowden on the right for whoever else he brought on, and for Saka.
Yeah,
it was like for like, and I thought the system needed to change, and we needed to change the way they were playing. And anyway, a really long-winded way of saying, I don't think Chris Davies will be like that. I think he will change it up. I think he will respond dynamically in the game. He will change the setup because I think he's got that. I think he's got that skill set. So I'm really excited for that.
I'm me, mate. I'm looking forward to playing against some of these smaller teams as well. I mean, I've never seen it before. I can't wait, mate.
It's going to be brilliant, isn't it? I think it's going to be. It's really good. I know. I don't know who we're going to keep. We'll see, won't we? Nick was saying, Nick can't speak probably on. But I was thinking that he was asking the other day around. He wanted to get rid of Bakuna. Yeah, and I kind of thought the same. And then I know Nick had mentioned about wanting to keep Dembele, and I was listening to Chris Davies talking about, as well as having the, we've talked. I know you both talked about it at length. That Chris Davies isn't just about the skill set of the player; it's also about their attitude and behaviours. That's really important to him, and what he's trying to do there is create the culture, a bit like what Southgate does really well with England.
Yeah.
And I really like that because I think it is really important, and it's interesting that Sanderson's come out and apologised, and he's obviously trying to create and instill that culture now. Create a really healthy working climate.
Well,
but I don't know whether Dembele. When I've looked at Dembele, I don't know whether he's got the right attitude. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm misreading it, and I wonder whether he fits in. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But skill-wise, what do you both think?
Well, Dembele, he's brilliant. He's like a magician, with the ball at his feet. But the problem I had with him was it was like Tony Mowbray, he called it head, didn't he? He wasn't tracking back when he lost the ball. Now, to me, I wasn't the best footballer, but if I lost the ball, I'd be running, mate, till I couldn't run anymore to try and get the ball back because it was me that made the mistake, me that lost the ball. I want to try and get the ball back. But that was a massive problem for me, in my opinion, with Dembele. But a really good footballer. And it's like Nick was saying, all through last season about Bakuna. He's hot and cold, isn't he? And it all depends what kind of Bakuna that you're going to get on the day.
He's a nightmare. He's an absolute nightmare.
I know. And then as for Dion Sanderson, it's like doing this live stream. He's come out he's obviously had problems himself, and fair play to him. He's come out with a statement, hasn't he? And he's got something off his chest, hasn't he? So, I look at it. Yes, I was annoyed. I was pissed off with him last season. Apart from the start of the season, he started off really well. But now he's come out and he's acknowledged it, and he's obviously had things going on in his life, and he's come out with a statement, hasn't he? It's a fair play to him. He's got it off his chest, hasn't he? It's the same as doing 100%. This podcast, right now. So
100%, man. Who are we to judge people, man? We don't know what goes on in people's lives, man, do we?
No. We can only judge off the footballing scenario, can't we? Not just being fans, but behind closed doors, you don't know what's going on, do you?
No, it's hard, isn't it, man?
Yeah.
Really, really hard, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I better get off the airwaves and not give people.
Ride the storm, Peter. Ride the storm, mate. There's always calm after a storm.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's lovely to speak to you both, and anyone that's listening. I hope it wasn't too boring.
No. It's never boring, mate. This is the whole point of doing this.
Yeah, wicked. And love to you all, man. And I'll see you soon, right?
Yeah, man. Keep right on, Peter.
Keep right on. See you both. Bye.
See you later, mate.
See you later, Peter. Yeah, man. Yeah, really good, Pete. Really good to hear off you, man. I'm glad you phoned in tonight and raised some really good points.
Gonna save his number.
Pretty much what I mirrored at the start of the podcast is, it's not for anyone to judge. We've all led different lives, different upbringings, etc., etc. Yeah, I know, Pete, you're a bit thingy about Dembele, and I think what he'll do, he'll give them the pre-season, he'll give Sanderson the pre-season, he'll give Dembele the pre-season, and even if Dembele's playing well in pre-season, but he's not a good character to have around the team, I think he'll get rid of him, Pete. If his attitude has changed, I mean, I'm not 100% on what his attitude is like anyway, or whether people are just basing it off that he doesn't track back. I don't know, mate. But if his attitude's spot on and he wants to give it a go, which I very much doubt it, mate. I think he might go. To be fair, Dembele, but yeah, man. Let's see how he gets on in pre-season, because you're gonna want to assess the players what are already at the squad, what are under contract anyway.
Oh yeah, so, definitely. Yeah,
man. Yeah,
what about the captaincy, Nick? Because we haven't spoken about the captaincy. Like, because obviously, well, I'm guessing that Dion Sanderson ain't going to be the captain now. Going off the footballing side, quite rightly so, in my opinion. But like, who would you pick for the captaincy?
At the moment, probably Bielik.
Yeah, Bielik.
Bielik, yeah.
What about Pritchard?
Apparently, he's trying to force a move. I read somewhere the other day. I'm not sure how true it is. I mean, I think he's another player what thinks he don't want to drop down to League One. I think Dembele might have that attitude as well. And Bakuna will definitely have that attitude. Nah, I don't know about Pritchard, mate. I don't know. He's a little bit injury prone. I mean, on his days, he's good in it, but I think he picked up 2 or 3 injuries last season.
Yeah.
When he was on the pitch, he wasn't that good. It wouldn't be a great miss if we got rid of Pritchard, if I'm being honest. For me personally.
Yeah. How are you doing for time, Nick? Do you want to carry on for another 5 minutes, or you?
Yeah, we'll carry on for another 5 minutes, and then I've got to shoot off, mate. I'm starving.
Yeah, that's it, mate. But yeah, anybody else wants to ring in and get things off your chest, or any past experiences that you've gone through to try and inspire people to come out and talk, then the number is at the bottom, and get your calls in.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, mate, I really enjoyed this, mate. It's been good to stuff. I know it's a football channel, but this is something that I wanted to do because it means a lot to me. Like, doing something like this.
No, it's good. It's good stuff, mate. And the thing is, like,
to be brilliant.
The thing is, the majority of people what have phoned in, and I'm sure people watching, have gone through probably not exactly the same things as what the callers or what I've gone through or what you've gone through, but they've probably gone through something just as traumatic, because it comes down to a lot of all this stuff comes down to your childhood. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think my mum and dad splitting up at 13 and me being left with my alcoholic dad was a traumatic event at the time. But years and years later, it was a pivotal point in my life. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you get to find out when you start talking about it and seeing counsellors and seeking help. Mind do a good thing as well. Mind.
Well, that's the charity that I raise money for, Mind. Because that's a big.
What is it? Yeah.
That's what I've done it for.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm so close to my dad, was because my dad, when they split up, they was brilliant parents, but they just basically just fell out of love with each other. There was nothing like malicious there or nothing. It was just they just grew apart. But the thing is with me is my dad's my best mate. I've always looked up to my dad, and he was brilliant with us. As kids, he'd done everything with us, and being limited to having him there like 7 days a week to just 2 days a week, it was really hard. I feel like I've lost a lot of time with my dad, and that's why I'm really close with him. Like,
yeah.
Big Rich L.
How you doing, my friend?
You're on the train, mate.
Mate, I'm off the train now. Luckily, I'm off the train. I saw the SOS call, mate, phoning Rich.
Yeah, man.
So I'm just answering the SOS. I'm gutted, mate, because I had to work late tonight and I've missed a load of the calls. But I was just trying to catch up with the messages, and I missed kind of obviously yours and Nick's story. To be fair, kind of getting the gist from the chats and stuff. So yeah, I think it's good what you're doing, mate. And if the last caller who called in, it's everything he says is absolutely true, and people don't talk enough.
Yeah.
They really don't. And I had, believe it or not, I had an issue last year. which wasn't great.
Yeah.
But
everything all right now, or you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what if people have gone into detail on these calls, and that's why, but it's.
Well, it all depends on how you feel, The whole purpose of this is to get things off your chest if you want to, and you feel comfortable. Me and Nick have obviously spoke about stuff that we've gone through in detail, but it's entirely up to you, mate. At the end of the day.
What was your thing, mate? Was it kind of
mine was just
depression and anxiety and stuff like
just crippling anxiety.
Just. Really?
I couldn't leave the house. Just cooped up in my room. Got to the point where I was bedridden for weeks. My mum was bringing food up to me in my bedroom, and
that was just, pretty much
fucking took over my life, mate, for a good few months.
Did you manage to get that sorted out? Did you?
I'm over it now. But this is the whole point. I wanted to do this because I don't want people to get.
Yeah.
I know everybody's different, but I don't want people to go through what I've gone through because it's not nice. So the whole point of doing this is to get people to talk about things. At the end of the day, I ain't a doctor, I ain't a therapist, but me and Nick are good listeners.
I think with stuff like this, I think that's it, mate. I never kind of relate to things going on, and we talk about football and we have a laugh and a joke and everything. But I think one of the main reasons I started listening to podcasts and stuff is because I was off work at the time, and I'll be honest, I had exactly what you had, but mine went a little bit further. And unfortunately, I had to go into hospital because I wasn't very well. So it was pretty much started off with stress at work and all this, that and the other, the business and the house and just things that were going on. I've never suffered with mental health before, ever in my life. I've always dealt with it with my mum and my auntie. My aunt kind of lost her battle with it a few years ago. She
sorry to hear that,
took her own life and whatnot. Mum had breakdowns and this, that and the other, but I've always never had any issues, never had any tablets, never had any antidepressants. But anyway, long and short of it, I had an event-driven breakdown last year, and the only thing I can describe it is I didn't listen to your journeys. That again, I couldn't get out of bed. The anxiety was that bad. I had to curl up into a ball in my bed because it was just to stop the pain. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I lost 2.5 stone. I didn't want to see anybody. I just couldn't speak. I didn't want to look at my phone. And to be honest, mate, you know me. We've called in and we have the banter. All that sort of stuff. So if you would have seen me probably at the time when it was, you wouldn't have recognised me at all. And my wife was saying to me, look, you need to go out. You need to do this. But you just physically can't do it. But I remember going to the Blues, actually, funny enough. Well, it's not funny enough, but I just felt really shit. And she said, go to the Blues, which you really enjoy going, just go down there. But I didn't want to go and see any of my pals down there. Because, you get down there and you see people, don't you? And, you have a laugh and stuff. And I kind of thought, right, I need to go. So I got in my car, drove down. It took me ages to get there. Parking up in Selfridges. And I got there for about 12 o'clock. And this is when I was feeling really low and stuff. And I remember just walking around Digbeth for hours. And I couldn't even remember, I couldn't remember walking around there. My head had gone.
Mad, isn't it, mate?
And I remember I had my season ticket at the time. And I just thought, I don't want to sit around people that know me, because I thought I don't want to come across like I'm being rude or anything, but I just didn't want to speak. So I bought myself another ticket, another part of the ground, and I kind of just sat there. And I enjoyed the game to a certain extent, but I was just sitting there looking through the pitch. It's really weird, mate. And I just thought, I just want to get home, and you're really tired. And I remember doing that. But anything you do, anything you kind of watch, like if you enjoy things on the TV or your food or whatever, no interest whatsoever. So almost kind of it was depression. And a severe depression, because you just can't kind of get out of it. But mine was event-driven. Mine was like event-driven, and all the things I was worried about and all the things that were going to happen. Everything that you worry about, you can normally always sort them out. No matter what it is. No matter, I don't care what it is. The thing is for me, the main thing is for me was if you took that CBT, that's been brilliant for me. That was. You go there, you speak to people. You speak to they call it a therapist, don't they? But they kind of tailor it for what for your needs. And anyone out there who's worried about anything at all, or anything, you've got to open your mouth. You've got to do it, because if you just keep ruminating and whatever else, it's just going to get worse and worse. And honestly, mate, if you were to look at me, or if we were to talk, you'd have think there's no way that would have happened to you last year, and it did. So it can happen no matter what you do, no matter where you are.
Mate, that's brilliant. I mean, it took me 6 years to get to the stage where you are. I mean, to doing that in a year,
Mate, it was 12 months. I'll tell you what happened. I'll be honest. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. So obviously, I wasn't very well.
Yeah.
It was going on for months. I couldn't leave the house. My wife was doing her best. She said, "Look, you need to go to the doctors." I didn't want to go because I didn't want to have any tablets because I thought as soon as you go on antidepressants, I thought that's going to be it. I'm never going to come off them. It's going to change me. So of course, I was going to the doctors. I was not having the tablets they gave me. Long and short of it, I was up in the night. I wasn't sleeping. I was just downstairs in the dark, doing all this, that, and the other. Just couldn't sleep. And then before I knew it, you have sleep deprivation, and then you're in shit.
Yeah, it's just a bit circle. Then you're already in the middle of it, and you're trying to find.
Mate, yeah. So I had to unfortunately go into hospital. I was there for 12 days. I got out, and I had fantastic care, mate. Absolutely fantastic. So it was brilliant, and I think, but these podcasts that you do, and the podcast I watch now, I never used to watch anything like this up until then because I had a bit more spare time on my hands at the time. I was out of work. Not out of work, I was obviously out of my business for a bit, and I think it's fantastic. What you do is you can interact, you can kind of like talk about everything you love. We've all got a common interest in blues, you've all got our opinions, and I love the banter. And do you know what it does? It gets your fight back and your fire back, and it's brilliant. So I think anything that you do like that is absolutely fantastic. But
this is what I like about the founding as well, though.
Do you know what it is? And like normally, we'll ring it, and I thought I know you were doing this tonight. I'm gutted that I missed the start of it, but I was out from work and stuff. But it was almost like, do you know what I mean? It's good that you do it because next time I call up, we'll be bantering. Had a blues, sup? Are you happy with that? And this and the other. But that's why it's good that you're doing this, mate. And when you do you do it for Minds, don't you? You did that charity thing, so I donated on that for you. And I think it's fantastic, mate. I just think it's a really good thing that you're doing. But what happened with Nick then? What was that? What was Nick's kind of journey? I know obviously you're about to finish, but what was?
Right, are you going to be able to hear Nick?
No, that's fine.
Right. Go on then.
Yeah, so with me, Rich. So I was brought up on council estate in Chelmsley Wood, and a big trigger, which I didn't really realise it was a trigger. It was a traumatic event, really, where my parents split up, and my mum left the family home. Who I was really close to my mum. I was closer to my mum than my dad. My dad was an alcoholic who was never around. So there was no food in the cupboards or anything. So from the age of 13, I had to kind of work my way through life. And I went down the wrong path. So I fell in with the wrong people. Long story short, for a long time through my 20s and the 30s, I fell into a life of crime and drugs, cocaine and drinking and stuff like that. And ended up spending over 10 years in prison due to it, in and out of prison. I haven't been to prison. I haven't been arrested for over 13 years now. But like I was just saying, Rich, you might watch it on the replay. But since then, since my last arrest, a couple of years later, I started giving back to the community and going into schools to help out kids what were kind of going off the track, and I was helping out at youth centres and going into schools, giving lectures and stuff. That kind of stopped a few years ago because of the culture of Birmingham and the way it's changed. But again, mate, it's like, and I do understand as well. It's depression what you had, Rich. I've had it before, man. It's crippling. You know what I mean? Absolutely crippling. You don't want to come out of your house and all that. And I'm just really glad you got through it, mate. Do you know what I mean? To even be ringing in doing this just shows how confident you've got in just a year. So well done, mate.
It's brilliant, mate. One achievement, really. Super.
Unbelievable.
I think he's a couple of seconds behind Rich.
Okay, mate.
Yeah.
We're caught up.
Yeah, caught up now.
Mate, wow. I tell you, man. Fair play to Nick, man, like turning his life around and doing stuff. But again, he's been let down by the system. That shouldn't be happening, and to do what he's doing now and helping the kids and stuff, he's like fucking hats off, man. That's brilliant. It really, really is, because that could have gone the other way, and you could have been in and out there and in and out of prison for the rest of your life, mate. So that is a massive, massive achievement. That should not be underestimated.
Yeah.
You know, and to happen to, you know, when you're younger and stuff like that, it's you know, some people don't have the born these days. They're either so like privileged in what they're doing, and you know, it's, I don't know, mate, that's taking my breath away. That is, mate. I think you're you know, a great guy, and you know, I'm glad you shared that with us.
Yeah, and I'll just say quickly, can you put me on hold a minute?
Isn't it funny though, you know, but you think you're on your own with everything like depression and stuff, and you're not.
Rich.
Yes, mate.
Sorry to interrupting on. Nick just wants to say something, because you can't speak at the same time, can you? Because you have to get him up, don't you, to talk to him.
Yeah. What I was going to say, Rich, was the one common denominator which I love about the Blues is no matter what every one of us has gone through in life, because we've all been through traumas and breakups and divorces, loss of loved ones. And the one thing that brings us together is, and I've mentioned it a couple of times on this podcast, is we all love the Blues, and at Saturday at 3:00 we are all one. Do you know what I mean? For that hour and a half, we can forget about what's going on for us, or what happened to us, you know, years and years ago. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, massively. I can hear you in the background, Nick.
Yeah, I think he's caught up.
I've caught up now, haven't I?
Yeah.
Mate, 100%. Like, as soon as you get to the stadium, it's kind of like you don't think about anything for the 90 minutes or the 2 hours. You kind of get in there, and I think that for me was like, you know, a big recovery for me. Kind of like in the season, even though we had Rooney, so that could have like made me even more depressed. But I thought, you know, but it's almost like, you know, you think, bloody hell, that's the last thing I need. I'm going to get bombarded on absolutely WhatsApp or all my mates or all the Villa fan mates. It's the last thing I need.
Yeah.
But you're right, though, you turn up and you just kind of like, you're with everybody, you're like your brothers, you're with everyone, you have a laugh and you don't think about it, and it's good for you doing that. It's good going having a beer in the right way, having a laugh, singing the songs, talking about the football. It's great, and you know, it's definitely what a lot of people go there for. They go there for release, and that's exactly what it is. And I think we deserve, as fans deserve, a really good season this year, and I think we're going to get it. I really do. You know what I think about the board and all the other bits and bobs. So we've got it right off the pitch. You just got to get it right on the pitch, and I think we will. We absolutely will.
What do you think of Chris Davis and also? Rich?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know too much about Davis until he signed.
Yeah.
I was having a chat with one of my pals who's a Spurs season to get older, and he had nothing but good things to say, to be fair. And I think we're doing it in the right way. I think they've learned the lesson from getting the old, you know, getting like the Lampards and stuff. Although I would have took Lampard at the time, but looking at the research I've done now and the person he is, and listening to other podcasts and getting other people's opinions, I think he's really shrewd. I think I put it on Nick's show the other day when I listened to it. I think it's a really shrewd signing for us.
Yeah.
And I like the way they've done it. And also that assistant manager we've got in as well, supposed to be really, really good as well.
Oh, that
Leicester.
Ben. What's his name?
Yeah.
Ben Petty.
What's his name?
Ben Petty.
Yeah, Ben Petty. He comes with a really good calibre. So they're doing it in the right way, aren't they? They're doing it in the right way. And that Allsop, I think that's another bloody good signing. That just goes to show the spending power we've got, because he'll be on some serious money at Hull, you know. So with him signing for us, I think he's decent at the feet, isn't he? I think he can actually pass a ball, can't he? And like Ruddy. I mean, I like Ruddy, but let's be honest. If you want to play progressive football and out from the back, you know, Allsop's probably the man to do it, and he's a blue nose as well. So what more do you want?
Yeah. Brilliant.
But it'd be interesting. Who else we get, won't it? So.
Man. This is the first of many now. This is I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next few weeks. It's really exciting. Like who's going to be coming in and stuff. And mate, it's going to be brilliant, mate.
And that's what I was going to say as well. For a calder, I know you always got to go nearly, but with Sanderson, isn't it interesting that he did that apology on social media pretty much when Davies signed? I think that's the sign to say, look, I want to stay and I want to get my head down and get on with it, because I don't think Davies would actually stand for it.
Yeah.
And all that mental health and stuff, and we forget these players, although they're earning silly money and they're doing a job that we'd all love to do.
Yeah, that's what we said earlier.
Everyone suffers from it, mate. Oh, did you? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know, do we? They don't know what they're going through. You have no idea.
No.
You know, and you know, Laird, he's always, you know, when he first signed for us, he's bubbly and he's loud, and then towards the end of the season, he was quieter and a bit more subdued.
Yeah.
You know, why do we think? What did I say? The loudest person in the room is the most broken person behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that's probably true, isn't it? So, yeah, it's going to be a great season, and let's have it, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think after the year we've had, mate, and like last year and stuff, it's nice to kind of get it out of the way. Personally and in the football terms, and then just crack on with life, mate. That's what you got to do, ain't you?
You two have got to meet now this season, and
we will, mate. Yeah, 100%. Well, I got my season. I've renewed. I've got my.
I need to meet Nick as well.
So have you not met him?
No,
you two not met?
No.
I thought you two were pals before.
No, we've only met on YouTube, but I actually waited for him on the one game and he stood me up.
Really? Oh, man.
Mate, I brought flowers and chocolates and everything.
We'll put you together. Don't worry, we'll put you together. But mine in the in Block 39, mate. I thought, sorry, I'm going to stand with them for 12 months. The Block 39ers, mate. It's right good in there.
Oh, God,
so, yeah, we've got. You're normally in around there anyway, aren't you? I know.
I'm usually in Block 40. Like it's racing Block 39. They're quite funny. Like,
yeah. Well, where they stand and they do their YouTube, I think we're like 2 rows in front of them. So you just stand for the whole game.
Yeah.
So that should be good. Also, just quickly, mate, before you go, I loved your old man's bar.
Oh,
Jesus, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. He's done a cracking job, isn't he?
Yeah, enough. Yeah, did he do that himself?
Yeah.
Did he get someone to do it?
Yeah. No, the whole thing himself. My dad's always been not really handy, like, you know, he's always put his hand to something.
Mate, that's class, that is. Yeah. Well, if we get to the final, England get to the final, mate, you need to do a party, don't they? So I want to invite.
That's another thing I want to do as well, you know, because my dad, like, he was a bit nervous about doing the filming and that, like, you know, like,
was he?
Yeah, like, what I tried to explain to him was, you know, like about this, like about my parents getting divorced and that, like, why I'm so close to him. I just feel like I've lost a lot of time with him, even though like, we've always been like quite close. He's like, it's memories, it's creating memories of like, you know, things to look back on and footage of me, like talking to my dad, and you know,
100%, mate. Yeah.
When we filmed that, like in the bar, I watched it back like 2 or 3 times. You know, like I loved it. Like, you know, just
mate, it's brilliant. You know, it was brilliant.
And he's the one, and he's the reason because I'm a black country lad, really. Realistically,
I had a feeling like that because of the twang in your accent, mate. To be fair, so I had a feeling.
Well, my dad's a Brummie.
Yeah.
Sutton Coldfield, but when he met my mum, she's a Tipton lass. Obviously, like he moved over this way to be with my mum's family, and then obviously me and my sister was born. I've always supported the Blues, but my dad's got a Brummie accent, so I've got like a bit of a twang, obviously. But I've always stuck with the Blues, like, you know what I mean. So when I've gone there in the past, like, is he a fucking Blue Nose or is he a fucking dingle? Like,
yeah.
I've always had that, like, you know what I mean. But yeah, I've always been a Blue Nose, mate.
Fucking right. Are we all going to the first? When the fixtures released, are they out next
Wednesday?
Week?
Tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Take for a home game, first game of the season. One home game, don't we?
Yeah.
That'll be class if we can. That'll be class, lads. It's been brilliant. I know you guys want to go and get out something to eat and get off, but I just brilliant what you're doing. Honestly, I think you should do this. You should do this regularly because it's going
to be once a month, mate. This is just going to be once a month because I want people to check in. This is the whole point of doing this.
Yeah, and that's the right thing to do, and because some people, you know, we blokes, just quickly, they kind of like, you think, I ain't going to say anything, I'll keep it to myself, I'll be all right, I'll be okay. But just open your mouth and talk, man. It makes all the difference. It really, really does, man.
I ain't here to judge, Rich, I'm here to help.
Exactly, absolutely right, mate. And I think the community you guys have got on here is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because everyone can relate no matter what, whether it's yourself, whether it's a friend or a family. So everyone's got something in common. Everyone knows someone with mental health issue or going through depression, whatever. It's prevalent in this day and age because of what's going on in the country, mate. Yeah. With the cost of living, job security and all that sort of stuff. It's bloody it's tough out there, man.
No. Social media.
Absolutely.
Money.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. Family stresses, illnesses and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, listen, guys, really good speaking to you. Sorry I bottled it when I didn't call you on the train, but I couldn't do that, man. Do you know what? You were saying call up, but I thought I can't.
Should have done it, mate, and then shouted down the sign up the Blues.
Down the carriage. Yeah, down the carriage. When you do one of these again, you're going to do one next week, a football one next week?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be football like... I mean, obviously, this is a football channel, obviously, like about Blues and that. But I'm going to be doing this one in particular, like at least once a month.
Oh,
it'll be once a month now, just for people to check in and stuff. But yeah, man, it's mainly Blues, obviously, but this is something that I want to do like once a month. And fair play to Nick. Now he wanted to be a part of the first one.
Has he got his 1,000 subscribers yet? Because he was on 999 the other day. Has he got him?
Yeah, he smashed it.
Fantastic.
Super. Yeah, nice one, Rich.
Well done, guys. Yeah. Appreciate it. It's good chat, man. Enjoyed that.
Ringing in, Rich.
I've got to go and watch it all now. I've got about 45 minutes, 50 minutes that I missed, so I'm going to go and listen to it all now.
Keep right on, mate.
Nice. Get right on, mate, and I'll speak to you next week, gents.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're feeling all right as well, Rich.
Take care. Yeah, absolutely, mate. All sorted,
more importantly,
all recovered, all sound. Yeah, ready to rock, mate.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely have a beer, mate, in the upcoming 100%, season.
100%.
Watch the boys in Royal Blue.
Absolutely, let's have it, mate. 100 points, I said, mate. 100 points.
100 points, yeah.
Nice one, Rich, man.
All right, chaps. Take care.
Nice one, mate.
See you later, mate.
See you ta-da.
Ta-ra, mate.
Ta-ra. Yeah, man. Yeah. Even like, do you know, all the callers we've spoke to before, Joe, phone-ins, right? And you wouldn't think anyone... I mean, I know everyone's gone through something, always going through something, but it's just nice to know a little bit of a backstory about everyone, isn't it? Do you know, like Richie this time, probably last year, was going through a lot of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And now he's come out of it. It's just really good. I've really enjoyed this podcast, honestly.
I know it's not like kind of like football related in a sense, but this is something what means something to me. But yeah, it's just nice to hear like your like the stuff that you've gone through, and you've put up the courage to talk about it. It's really inspiring, really, Nick.
Yeah. Well, I've come out of it now. I haven't been arrested or been in trouble, or all I've done is give back to society, really. But yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good that people are talking.
Yeah, mate, you've hit your 1,000 as well, mate. I'm buzzing for you, mate. Well done.
Yeah. Chuffed with that, man. Really chuffed with that. But yeah, listen, Joe, I'm absolutely starving, man.
Yeah.
All right then, Mucker.
Yeah. We'll do another one soon, another Blues one anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks everyone for what's phoned in and left messages as well. The message has been really nice, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah. All the comments, the phone calls, everything's fair play. Anybody that is watching that is going through something, please talk. This is going to be every month now, like one episode a month. So, hopefully you can talk about something that you've gone through in the past, or like if you're going through something. Me and Nick ain't doctors or like therapists, but we are worriers. We've been there as well, and you're a worrier too. So, please talk. And I promise it does get easier.
Yeah,
Nick, mate, I really enjoyed talking to you, mate. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, nice one, Joe. Thanks for inviting me up the Blues, son.
Keep right
on, mate. Keep right on. All right then, mate. Sound. I'll speak to you soon, Joe.
Yeah. Mate.
Try, brother.
See you later, mate.